It's finally here. After years of waiting, we have a reveal trailer for Alien Isolation 2, and there is a lot to dig into. From the environment, to the story hints buried in the dialogue, to the big question everyone is asking, who exactly are we playing as? My name is James, and welcome to Beyond 426. Right out of the gate, the environment is doing a lot of heavy lifting. We're looking at a wet, dense, wooded world, and the immediate comparison that jumped out to me was Fiorina 161 from Alien 3. That same oppressive, rain-soaked bleakness is very much present here. And if the tone of the first game is anything to go by, that kind of setting is going to do wonders for the atmosphere. The Steam description confirms this is a remote colony planet, and based on what we're seeing, it looks like we've crash-landed, arriving via escape pod from the looks of it, with exterior exploration seemingly being a part of the experience from early on. That's an interesting shift from the claustrophobic corridors of Sevastopol, though I wouldn't expect that openness to last for long once things start hunting you. Speaking of which, there's crashed debris visible in the trailer, and the interior architecture has a striking resemblance to what we saw inside Sevastopol in the original game. Now, Sevastopol itself crashed into the gas giant KG-348 at the end of Isolation, but the gas giant had several unnamed moons in its orbit, meaning debris from the station could feasibly have been broken apart and scattered across that system. That said, it's also worth noting that the manufacture of stations and ships like Sevastopol was widespread across the setting, so similar interior design isn't necessarily a direct link. This could be set in the near or far future as well. The trailer is deliberately keeping that ambiguous for now. The trailer doesn't give us much in the way of plot, but what dialogue there is doing some real work. We hear lines which I believe is Japanese, so Weyland-Yutani may be involved here, like, "Your mistake, it was expensive," and "That's something the company rarely forgives," followed by, "This is your last chance," and "Do you understand?" To which we get a quiet, "Yes, I understand." That exchange is loaded. The company holding someone accountable, issuing ultimatums, sending someone in on a last chance mission. That's a very familiar setup in this universe, and it raises the obvious question of who is being sent and why. It also suggests that whatever happens on this planet, someone in a corporate boardroom already knows more than they're letting on. Classic Weyland-Yutani. The xenomorph itself is a little difficult to get a clear read on from the trailer. The reveal is deliberately obscured, but what we can make out does suggest we're dealing with a drone, much like the original game. Interestingly though, where the alien in the first game leaned into a more grayscale appearance, the one here reads as notably darker, more black in coloration. Whether that's an artistic choice, a lighting decision, or something more meaningful is hard to say at this stage, but it's a visual distinction worth keeping an eye on. The flamethrower is back, which is very welcome, and we're also getting a look at the synths that carry a clear resemblance to the working Joes from the original. Exactly how they factor into the story remains to be seen, but their presence suggests the corporate thread running through the dialogue isn't just backdrop. It's going to be woven into the gameplay as well, I think. Flares are also confirmed, which tells you something about the tone they're going for. If you're rationing flares, you're scared. Good. And now the question everyone is circling. The developers have been deliberately vague in the Steam description, which reads, "When a survey team on a remote colony planet discovers a mysterious crashed vessel, one member makes it her priority to investigate. No one is prepared for the horror unwittingly unleashed on the settlement. Nowhere is safe. So begins a desperate journey to survive and escape as she is relentlessly hunted by the deadly creature." No name, intentionally so, but the trailer gives us a very brief glimpse, and I mean very brief, of a character's eyes. The bone structure visible in that clip, and most tellingly, the eyes, green. They line up closely with Amanda Ripley's. Amanda's green eyes are one of her most distinctive features from the original game, and the match here is hard to miss. I'm putting myself at about 90% confident here that this is Amanda Ripley's story continuing. The deliberate vagueness in the description feels less like a mystery and more like creative assembly not wanting to spoil the moment of confirmation for players going in fresh. But everything points to her for me. There is so much more that this trailer is hinting at that we just don't have full context for yet, and I fully expect the next few months to a year to bring a lot more clarity. But as a first look, this has absolutely delivered on the hype. What did you notice that I missed? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear your theories, especially on the identity of our protagonist and that debris. Subscribe, like the video, hype it up, share it with anyone who's been waiting on this one as long as we all have. And I've been James, and I'll see you on the next deployment, Marine.